gon' talk. Tamaya gon' talk about Tamaya.
Hello. Welcome to the Tamaya Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about colossal negligence. What is colossal negligence? Okay. Well, first of all, before we talk about colossal negligence, what is negligence? Negligence is just neglect and oversight. We're failing to take care of something. Okay. So colossal negligence would be something big, right? So something you looked over and it affected or impacted everybody. So for me in my life, colossal negligence, clearly, if everybody's watching our show, what are we dealing with? We're dealing with trauma. We're dealing with abuse. We're dealing with neglect. Okay. So in those areas, that had to be an oversight on somebody's part, be it a caregiver, a parent, whoever was trusted with you. And it doesn't have to just be an adult. Okay. So sometimes adults make mistakes with adults too. Okay. I want to talk about the colossal negligence that's going on, period, not just in my life, but in everybody's life, and what we're going to do to solve it. So for me, when you're growing up and you're being raised by children, by people who are not 18 years old. So we want to go with the legal definition. What is a child? Anybody under 18 years old, legally, you're going to be defined as a child, a minor. Okay. So colossal negligence would be allowing children to watch children. It is no child's responsibility to be caring for any of your children. Now, again, I'm not going to lie. I'll have the oldest watch the youngest. Those things happen here and there. But when it becomes a normal part of your daily routine, and that happened in the 40s, 50s, 60s, there were on alarms and life was a lot safer. Let's be real. But in today's day and age, especially starting in the 80s, older children should not be watching younger children, especially opposite sex, and especially for extended periods of time. You have a lot of people who have been victimized in that way. Now, again, I talked to you guys one time, and you need to go back maybe 2-3 episodes. I talked to you about one of my friends at the liquor store. He works there. Talking to him again, and I said something, and I said, if I had a son, I said, let's just say I have a son, and his name is Bartholomew, and Bartholomew was attacked by somebody or victimized by somebody. I don't have a son, but I can tell you this, that is the end of it. That is colossal negligence to allow male children. I mean, it happens to everybody, females and males alike, and we know that. But to allow a male child to be assaulted, to be sodomized, to be victimized, we all have to tighten up. And tighten way up, because we can't have everybody's dad running around here broken and coping because something happened, because of colossal negligence. So at some point we have to say, okay, who's going to be accountable? Is it the fatherlessness issue? Is it the motherlessness issue? Is there too much TV? Do we not have community? What do we do? Where do we start? Well, yeah, that's a good one. Number one, fathers. We need fathers back in it, back on it. Okay, be there. If he can't be there, what do? Well, we don't fake like we're doing the right thing. You can't. So regular negligence is, hey, I left the home and I didn't bring my charger. That's negligence. Colossal negligence is, hey, Uncle Ray is in there with the all the male children, molesting them. Wowzers. And how did we let that happen? And what are we going to do now? So for me, the reason why I want to talk about this show, a lot of times we're coming into it and we're saying, we're talking about healing. How are we going to talk about healing when we haven't talked about the colossal negligence? We can't talk about healing yet. We're not there. We're going to get there, but back it up. Where were the people? That's why I say, get your head out of your AZZ. If people have had trauma in their lives, your life, my life, grew up for years in the behavior. There's a such thing, you do something 1 or 2 times every summer. You and Ricky go down to the lake. I get that, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a lifestyle, a pattern, a behavior. Somebody was assaulting you for years and it became a part of you. So now you have perversion. Now you have lust. Now you have emotional problems and you can't recover mentally because you didn't even know you had a problem. Right? That's what I'm talking about. Colossal negligence, something that we can't recover from. And you do need help. You need some real help. You need somebody to sit you down and talk to you. It's bigger than an exorcism, right? It's bigger than a demon. It's a pattern. It's a lifestyle. It's things that have formed over time. And it's an oversight in your head. And you're not realizing, oh, that isn't normal for me to like that, to want to live a double life, to walk on the wild side, to abuse substances. That's because of the patterns and the broken behaviors that have formed in your life. So you can't ever hop on your healing journey if you haven't realized, hey, I need to stop some of these broken behaviors, be it hanging with friends, be it substance abuse, be it participating in fornication, unmarried, whatever you are doing. Okay. It all started somewhere, and most likely it started with trauma. So a lot of people have been coming to me. You know what? I went to my mom after I watched your show and I told them how I felt. No, that's not what I wanted for this show to do for people. What I wanted it to do is to help us self-reflect, examine ourselves and say, am I doing something wrong? Am I living the right life? Should I change? Can I be better? And is it due to the abuse? I wanted it to be a tool to self-reflect. I'm not waiting on anybody to come apologize to me. I'm definitely not waiting for closure. It's closed, right? So remember my story. I'm one of the ones who didn't tell people. I didn't get no help. Right. So this is a story of how somebody who did it by themselves and did it on their own, made up a way, didn't really make it, but doing a show anyway. Right. So I'm really talking through it to help people realize some of this stuff, there are consequences, and people want to live like there's going to be no consequence. If you was suck and duck like a porn star for 6 years, do you really think there's going to be no problems with you mentally? Maybe you might need a little more than most people, like to walk on the wild side, enjoy dangerous things, hang out with dangerous people. That might be some of the symptoms of your adverse lifestyle that you were living for a long time. That's due to colossal negligence, and you're going to have to get some help. I had to get some help. I'm still getting help because I still like to walk on the wild side. So I like when people who tell me, hey, you know what? I'm in the process of healing. What does healing look like? It's not perfect every day, and it's not telling people we're not doing things. It's just going slower and making better decisions. No, thanks. I won't participate in the orgy. I need to stop, right? Be real with yourself. Be real with everybody and just say, hey, I'm trying to change, but I haven't changed yet. I'm working on it. And due to the colossal negligence in my life, I have not all the way recovered. I'm working on it. I'm getting there, hanging out with better people and doing better things. But until you really get there, until you really start to heal, you don't have to pretend like nothing happened. So I just want to remind us all, everybody, you don't have to pretend. Remember, there's a specific story with me. Growing up, the two characters in my story, brother and cousin, right? Stepbrother and cousin, but that's important. We're hanging out in the room. My grandma's like, I'm going to the store. So it's me, my cousin, my stepbrother, and then my baby sister. So my grandpa's gone and my grandma's watching us all summer by herself. So if she leaves, no one's there. So she leaves, and it didn't matter if she didn't leave because when she came back, the same things was going on. But the point was she left, and they're like, hey, we want to examine your vagina. They said it in different words, but for the viewers, I'm going to say what they said. Vagina, right? And I was like, no, I don't want to let you guys see. They're like, yeah, we want to see something. We got a flashlight. We want to see. And I'm like, what? No, I'm not participating in this. This is out the question. So by force, one of them grabs me, the other one pins me down. Boom. Now they're taking a flashlight and they're looking by force. Okay. I went with it. All right. How did I feel about it? At the time, I was like, I don't know if I'm powerless, if I'm helpless, if I'm upset, if it's fun, if it's weird. What is this? By the time that was over, it was done. But I look back on that in hindsight and I was like, you know what? No. Those are some of the reasons why. And my friend said it. My friend Bonnie said it. She said, you know, it was abuse because once you were done with it, you never went back to it. You didn't even go back just one time. You were like, nope, I'm done. And I was like, and I sat and I thought about it and I meditated on it. That's true. Soon as I saw victory, soon as I saw freedom, I was like, pew, I'm gone. So that's the truth. But that's colossal negligence on behalf of the adults, all the way down to them in a child care position. Still doesn't make it okay just because you're young. You knew it was wrong because you didn't tell anybody when they came back. And then it's my fault for not saying to somebody, hey, this is totally ridiculous. So we all failed, right? A slew of failures. Boom, everything's failed. So what we're talking about is people who are destroyed, why they're destroyed due to colossal negligence. So the best thing we can do for ourselves and our fellow man is to not ignore the details, to pay attention to the signs and ask questions. Thank you.
We gon' talk about it. Tamaya. We gon' talk about it. Tamaya gon' talk. Tamaya gon' talk about it. We gon' talk.